Welcome to qualifying for round 2 of season 4 of the F.E.M.R.L. as we see the first driver coming down pit lane as we're on board with here, but the first driver on the circuit is McLaren Octagon's Matthew Hart in the number 21. Here comes the reigning series champion onto the circuit in the TWG Andretti. We see the Envision Jaguar of Chaos Andalay in the number 14. Behind Gabriel is on the circuit as well in the 36. Nick De Vries in the 17 now heading to the circuit in the Neon Brawn GP. Formula E. Saragi is still in the pits in the other McLaren Octagon. Andre Nesbesny is coming out in the 37 along with the 84 of Marcos Sanchez Dunn and the 41 of Philip Williams. Now we see the number 2 of Yanis Dos Santos heading to the circuit, the 76 of Saragi as well on the circuit in the other McLaren Octagon. Casing is still in pit lane as we see Arnold Yu heading to the circuit in the other TWG Andretti number 25. As now we see Franco Fanaziero or Mr. Fanaziero heading to the circuit in the DS APX Penske number 40. Sonny DeZavara in the 7 on the circuit as well. Here comes the 3-time F1 MC champion Riley Watson in the Cooper Kira number 44. Taralo Zigo in the 57 still in the pits as we just saw his teammate Yanis Dos Santos heading down circuit. He is starting his flying lap along with Matthew Hart in the 21. Here comes Chaos Andalay around the final corner down the main straight as he starts his flying lap of the session with about 4 minutes to go. Gabriel to the line to start his flying lap of the session, and we're currently on board with the reigning series champion. He says the fastest sector 1 of 27.79. That's really good for Enoch Yu if he wants to take pole position here at Mexico City. Saragi is now coming around the final corner in the McLaren Octagon, coming down the main straight as he starts his flying lap of the session. And Casing is on the track at the moment. He has to let Gabriel through. Matthew Hart is now rounding the final corner in the McLaren Octagon, coming to the line as he goes to the top, obviously, with a 58.495, as he's the only driver that has a lap at the moment. Here comes Enoch Yu to the line. He goes to the top with a 58.196 as the yellow flag is deployed. We're not sure for who. Taralo Zigo is the man who's gone a bit wide there. Here comes Gabriel to the line. Obviously, his time is invalid as we just saw for track limits. Arnold Yu having to deal with traffic in the Alpine. Chaos Andalay goes to the top with a 57.457. Nick De Vries goes second fastest. And Casing's just starting his flying lap of the session. Versdio starting his flying lap of the session. The Brazilian driver definitely looking to try to get pole position for Red Bull Porsche. Arnold Yu having to deal with more traffic. Both of the Maserati MSG racing drivers of Taralo Zigo and Yanis Dos Santos. Here comes the 25 TW Andretti and he goes 5th fastest. I think that traffic definitely compromised his lap. Zygmunt is coming into the pit. Ollie Lowe's now coming round the final corner. Fanaziero goes 3rd fastest. Ollie sets the fastest sector 3 of 15.283 as Riley Watson goes to the top with a 56.825. Ollie Lowe's gone 3rd fastest. Verstio is now in sector 3 in the Red Bull Porsche. Dunn and Arthur coming out of the pits. Tommy Yu sets the fastest sector 3 of 15.249 and he goes to the top 10th fastest. Munkar Singh goes P3 on the second row in front of Ollie Lowe. Cabinet goes 9th fastest. Verstio goes to the front row. There's another yellow flag flow in sector 2 for I think one of the DS APX drivers. Madeo to the line. He goes to P5. Victor Levi goes to provisional pole with a 56.781. What a lap from the Brazilian in the Alpine. Here comes Taralo Zigo around the final corner, the number 57, the Italian driver to the line, and he goes to 16th in front of Andre Nesbesny, who's just on his outlap, so he is slowest overall. With 1 minute and 35 seconds, we'll see the pecking order so far. It is Victor Levi on top with a 56.781, then is Riley Watson, Verstio, Chaos Andalay, Casing, Madeo, Ollie Lowe, Nick De Vries, Franco Fanaziero, and Enoch Yu running out the top 10. Then it's Sonny DeZavaro, Lavari Cabinet, Matthew Hart. Then it's Arnold Yu and Tommy Yu, with Taralo Zigo running off the drivers that have set a lap time. Now Marcos Dunn is on a flying lap in the Envision Jaguar Racing. Nesbesny, Gabriel and Zygmunt on outlaps. Arthur to the line, to start his flying lap of the session. Same with Philip Williams, Nesbesny, Gabriel, Yanis Dos Santos, and Saragi all currently only on out lap, which means they haven't got to the start line to start their flying lap of the session. As we ride on board with Marcos Dunn, who is currently in Sector 2, Dos Santos starting his flying lap. Saragi coming to the line as well to start his flying lap. Nesbesny was already starting his lap at turn 1 at the moment. So Gabriel is the only driver that's only on an out lap and hasn't had a flyer yet. Matthew Hart starts his second flying lap of the session. Same with Nick DeVries, who's now coming to the line to start his flying lap of the session. There's only 15 seconds to go. I don't think Anderley is going to make it to start another lap in. Dunn to the line. He goes up to P6. What a lap from the other Envision Jaguar. Arthur to the line next into 5. He goes to P4 in the Neon Brawn GP. Zingman in the 6th. Could he match his teammate Victor Levi? He is not faster than his teammate, but he does go 3rd fastest. Chaos Sandley will not get a second lap in as the clock hits 0. Here comes Andre Nesbesny in the 37 to the line. He sets the fastest Sector 3 at 15.233 as he goes 5th fastest. Yanis Dos Santos goes to the 2nd row. In 3rd place, Matthew Hart is now coming around the final corner. In the number 21, Saragi goes 8th fastest in the 76. What about the other McLaren? He goes up to the 2nd row, the front row, sorry. 2nd place is where he is at the moment. But could DeVries snatch pole position from Levi? Yes, he does. He sets a time of 56.777. Gabriel and Philip Williams, the only drivers that haven't set a lap time yet. Gabriel is on his fly. I don't know about Philip Williams, though. I think he's going to be last of the field. Anyways, Gabriel to the line. He goes to P21 or 21st. As now we just look to Philip Williams, who's coming around the final corner in the Cooper Cura. I don't think he's going to get anywhere but last place. And he is 14 seconds off the leader, being Nick DeVries, and Zingman will be in 6th place for the Grand Prix, or for the E-Prix, sorry. That's the end of the qualifying. Let's see the times. Nick DeVries on top with a 56.777, taking his first pole position. Then it's Victor Levi, Matthew Hart, Roddy Watson, Yanis Dos Santos, Zingman, first Theo Andre Nesbesny, Arthur, and Saragi running at the top 10. Then it's Chaos Andale, Enoch Yu, Carl Singh, Marcos Dunn, Madeo, Ollie Lowe, Franco Fanaziero, Sonny DeZavaro, Lavari Cabinet, Arnold Yu, Gabriel, Tommy Yu, Taralo Ziga, and Philip Williams rounds off the grid. We will see you soon for the main race as the International Monoposto Racing Federation returns.